More than 4,000 people affected by the infected blood scandal should receive an immediate compensation payment of at least £100,000 each. That's the recommendation of the judge leading the public inquiry into what's been called the worst treatment disaster in the history of the NHS. The government says it will consider the recommendations with the utmost urgency. If the government accepts it, it'll be the first time compensation will have been paid in the UK after thousands of people were infected with lethal viruses, including HIV and hepatitis, through contaminated treatments in the 1970s and 80s. Our health correspondent Jim Reid has this report.
In 1978, Richard Warwick was given a new treatment for the blood disorder Haemophilia. He later found out it was contaminated with 2 forms of hepatitis and HIV. The impact on his life was devastating.
No life insurance, no pension, everything that the normal guy in the street, it would be the norm. That's just gone. We're advised, where we were told in no uncertain terms, to have our one and only child aborted. So we've lost a child because of the risk to the child of HIV.
But Richard and other victims of this disaster have often had to survive on benefits and annual support payments. Unlike in other countries, full compensation has never been paid.
It's recognition of the harm that's been done to us. Well, a compensation to families, to victims, will enable them to get on with their lives and, yeah.
You've been waiting a long time for this.
I've been waiting a long time for this, yeah, too long, yeah.
Today then, an important moment. The chair of the public inquiry made his first formal recommendation that some interim compensation should be paid now, with more possible later.
I've decided to recommend that interim payments of no less than £100,000 are made to all the infected people and all the bereaved partners who are currently registered with the schemes.
In a room in the inquiry building, messages are left in bottles remembering loved ones. Since the start of the inquiry in 2019, 1 infected person has been dying every 4 days. In total, 2,500 have lost their lives.
Steve always felt that the treatment had destroyed his life.
Sue remembers her husband Steve as she visits his grave in Devon. He was infected with hepatitis C after being given contaminated treatment and died in 2018.
I had my earning power taken away from me. My husband had his earning power taken away from me. We lost our home, we lost, everything we had. Why shouldn't I financially, because that's the only thing the government can now give me, have some part of what I lost?
The government has said it would consider the recommendation with utmost urgency, though it's unclear where the money, possibly £400 million, would come from. If it agrees, thousands of victims could receive the first ever compensation payments before the end of the year. Jim Reid, BBC News.